1984 is a novel that includes dystopian themes and demonstrates what an authoritarian society appears like. In this world, English is being replaced by the tyrannical government's version of English called NewSpeak. Much like 1984, social media has its own language that it promotes its users to adopt. Mainstream social media platforms and other small online forums do try to eliminate the use and meaning of certain words. This is similar to how NewSpeak destroys words in 1984. Even though social media platforms attempt to remove words from their users' vocabulary, overall social media has failed to destroy words and their meaning. This proves that currently we are not being controlled through our language. All words have meaning and complex history as to why they were formed. Even words that are considered offensive have a purpose in being used to offend and oftentimes hurt others. If certain words did not exist, it would be challenging to nearly impossible to express emotions. In 1984, the tyrannical government is able to comprehend how destroying words will limit people's ability to express themselves. Simp, a character in the novel who helps create NewSpeak, explains that the whole aim of NewSpeak is to narrow the range of thought. NewSpeak's purpose is to stop citizens in this dystopian world from expressing themselves. Without the ability to use particular words, it reduces the ability to even think of how to properly state something. This is similar to how social media platforms ban the use of offensive language. Some social media companies subscribe to the idea that if hurtful words are banned from their platforms, it will limit people's ability to be hateful. One of these social media platforms is known as Twitch. Twitch, which is owned by multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos, is one of the biggest live streaming platforms in the world.
On the 15th of December
2020, Twitch officially announced the term simp now against the platform's terms of service. Simp is a term that is used when someone who is usually a male is heavily infatuated with someone and is desperate to gain that person's affection. In order to achieve that affection, the person may cross boundaries and may not be socially aware enough to recognize that their actions of so-called generosity do not make a good impression. Twitch believed that this word was being used to harass and cause harm to users on their live streaming platform. When they announced that using the word simp would be a bannable offense, they expected the use of that word and its meaning to be destroyed on their site. Before this announcement, simp mentions averaged 71k mentions per day before skyrocketing to 140k per day. The effect of the ban on this word only caused the word to become more well-known. This caused people to use the word even more than they did before. Twitch attempted to change and destroy its users' vocabulary, but it failed. Social media has not been able to control us through our language because they currently do not have the means necessary to erase a word. Social media platforms like Twitch have consistently attempted to change people's vocabulary. Similar to the tyrannical government in 1984, the motivation behind getting rid of these words is to get rid of people's ability to express certain emotions that the people in charge do not want their users to have. Whether or not one may agree with prohibiting a word, it's clear that in our society today it is difficult to control the use of words. Attempting to destroy a hateful word or silencing a word makes that word's impact stronger. That does not mean that it should be socially acceptable to use hateful language in a way to intentionally harm a person. However, as far as social media goes, it is currently difficult to control language. This does not mean that social media won't ever be able to control our language like they want to. 1984, written by Geroge Orwell, serves as a demonstration of warning signs people in our society should be able to indicate to stop the rise of a tyrannical dictatorship.